A mid-cycle refresh that leaves us wanting more. Our first drive of the 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander has us wondering, has Mitsubishi grown just as cynical about mid-cycle updates as we are? You know the drill. A handful of tweaks meant to keep a model fresh until its next full redesign. Or is this simply the best effort from a brand with a shrinking presence in the US? Whatever the case, we have to give Mitsubishi credit for making some meaningful changes to the Outlander, just not the ones we were hoping for. The best Mitsubishi in years, but not without flaws. When the current generation Outlander debuted for 2022, it was easily the best Mitsubishi we'd seen in years. After a string of models with interiors that could generously be described as budget-friendly, the Outlander was a welcome surprise. It channeled Mitsubishi's glory days of the late 80s and early 90s with a well-appointed cabin, a finely tuned suspension, and an all-wheel drive system that hinted at the agility of the brand's long-forgotten VR4 performance models. It shared underpinnings with the Nissan Rogue. Nissan owns a third of Mitsubishi, certainly didn't hurt. However, we had a few gripes: polarizing styling, an underwhelming powertrain, and a third-row seat that sounded good on paper but proved nearly useless in practice. What's new for 2025? Not much. Now, the 2025 Outlander arrives with its mid-cycle refresh, but good luck spotting the differences. Mitsubishi assures us the exterior has changed, but even we struggled to notice. The most significant tweak? The grille is now attached to the body instead of the hood, reducing the risk of taller folks bumping their heads while checking the oil. In a way, we respect Mitsubishi's restraint. Styling updates often do more harm than good, but whether the Outlander's original design was a hit to begin with is up for debate. For the record, we think it's one of the more unusually styled SUVs on the road today. This version keeps the essence of the original while improving flow, engagement, and readability. Let me know if you'd like any further refinements. A few small tweaks, but the luxury remains. Inside, the updates are subtle but easier to notice than the exterior changes. The center console has been reworked for better storage, and the wireless charging pad is now larger, both practical improvements. But what really matters is what hasn't changed. This remains a seriously upscale interior. Granted, we drove the SEL Premium model, which sits just below the top trim and carries a $43,000 price tag. But considering how little $43,000 buys you in the SUV world these days, the Outlander's cabin is impressive. Thoughtful details abound, from the padded door panels to the ultra-plush armrest that practically swallows your elbow. Buttons and knobs operate with a refined precision. The displays are sharp and easy to read. And the leather seats? Yep, that's the real deal. Mitsubishi may not be a luxury brand, but the attention to detail here says otherwise. A sound system worth talking about. During our test drive, Mitsubishi spent a surprising amount of time hyping up the new stereo system. Normally, we'd roll our eyes. Automakers love slapping premium brand names on their audio setups, but this one deserves the spotlight. Why? Because Mitsubishi partnered with Yamaha, a company that's been making musical instruments and audio equipment for nearly 140 years. And this wasn't just a nameplate deal. Yamaha developed custom speakers and software specifically for the Outlander, even working with Mitsubishi to redesign the door panels to improve acoustics and reduce noise, vibration, and harshness. Every Outlander now comes with an 8-speaker system, but our tester was equipped with the optional 12-speaker setup, and it's more sophisticated than your average premium stereo. Sure, it has the usual speed-compensated volume adjustment, but it goes further by retuning the equalizer as speed increases and even adjusting for AC fan noise. The wildest feature? It modifies the audio based on windshield wiper activity to keep sound clarity intact during rainstorms. Yamaha reps proudly claim this ensures clear audio even during squalls. We've heard some bold promises in our time, but that one's a first. Outlander has the moves. Mechanical changes? Yep, there are a few. Mitsubishi retuned the suspension to smooth out sharp crashes from sudden jolts like manhole covers. The engineers also reprogrammed the electric power steering for a heavier off-center response. We noted the outgoing Outlander's heavy steering effort. A note, not a complaint. When it comes to steering feel, we are an office divided. Some prefer a heavier tiller. Others like the wheel to be fingertip light. And while the Outlander is aimed at the former crowd, it won't alienate the latter. This is as good a place as any to note that the Outlander is a remarkably good handling SUV, especially when equipped with all-wheel drive. We drove the Outlander on some rather challenging canyon roads, and once we got it up to speed, no easy task, more on which in a moment. The Outlander impressed us, clinging tenaciously and keeping its composure. We hit one big mid-corner bump we were sure was going to set the Outlander bouncing like a pickup truck, but the suspension arrested the motion and kept the tires firmly planted. That, and the fact that this agility does not come at the expense of ride comfort, is the kind of behavior we expect from a good sports sedan. It may be largely irrelevant for a compact SUV, but it's a good indicator of solid engineering. Still, agile as the Outlander is, we can't call it athletic, because last year's lump of an engine has been carried over for 2025. Damn it, Scotty, we need more power. Our biggest gripe about the old Outlander was the lack of power, and we're still griping. The 2025 model gets the same 181 horsepower, 2.5-liter naturally aspirated four-cylinder and continuously variable automatic transmission, CVT, powertrain combo, as last year, and man, is it sluggish. Not just sluggish by go-faster CarMag Rider standards, but slow as in, am I going to be able to merge onto the freeway without becoming the hood ornament on an Escalade? We'll have an Outlander in for performance testing soon, but we'd be surprised if it does any better than the previous version's 8.6-second 0 to 60 miles per hour walk. You can get around the power deficit by opting for the hybrid version, which has a much more useful 248 horsepower and 332 lb-ft and gets to 60 in 6.5 seconds. But the hybrid won't get the changes we've outlined here until the 2026 model year. It may get a bigger battery for longer electric-only driving range as well. Still, last year's conventional Outlander outsold the hybrid by a ratio of about 6-to-1, so there's a good argument for giving the regular Outlander a stronger engine. Surely Mitsubishi has a couple of spare turbochargers lying around the shop somewhere.